Hello guys.
Hello.
Hello. And welcome to our talk today. Today we've got a practical talk and on discussing about stress and anxiety. Yeah, stress and anxiety, and how these emotions affect our lives and how we can manage them. So yes, it's a practical talk on firstly how to notice the signs and how to notice these emotions. And then the next part of the talk, we're going to chat about how we can resolve them and how we can identify what's happening and work through them. So
yeah. Good. So let's just dive in right away. So what are signs? So when do we notice that we feel stressed, that we have anxiety, that there is something not the normal way?
I think the first thing I notice is that when I'm stressed, like if I have an exam or something like that and I'm very stressed, I think the first thing I notice is my sleep goes.
Yeah,
I can't sleep, or I'm up all night thinking, oh my gosh, I need to do this exam in the morning. It's really stressful.
Yeah, that's you start sleep. Also, you start thinking about lots of things at the same time. You is kind of you overthinking as well. You're thinking about different scenarios, different outcomes, and you can't focus really, right? So you lose a bit of focus. And I think physical signs are probably your heart rate goes up.
Heart rate can get quite
So
irritable.
you can
you feel irritable, sort of in your mood, and your mood kind of fluctuates and changes.
You start snapping at people that you don't want to snap at.
And sometimes your eating changes as well, your eating habits. So you might feel like you don't want to eat as much, or your appetite might increase. Yeah.
So it's one or the other extreme. Either you're not eating at all, or you eat everything you can. It's like lots of rubbish.
And sometimes there can be some other physical signs of stress, especially from a TCM point of view. For example, if you're very stressed, it creates quite a lot of heat inside the body, so you might notice a lot of skin outbreaks, or you might notice fluctuations in your temperature and obviously your mood, and other sort of digestive problems especially with the stomach. So if you're overthinking or over worrying, in Chinese medicine it says it affects your stomach and spleen, and so you get some imbalances in that area, like toilet, diarrhea or constipation, or some problems in that area. Yeah.
Okay. So what can we do if we find out that we have symptoms like this, and if we obviously we're realizing, we're getting stressed, or we're getting really anxious, and we worry a lot about things. What can we actually do to help us deal with these emotions? And
there's a lot. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah, that's good.
There's a lot. Yeah. So from a Chinese medicine point of view, the reason why that you might have stress, obviously from maybe if there's outside issues that are happening, but it's causing a disharmony or an imbalance inside your body. So if we look at ways in which we can help to rebalance the body and rebalance the harmony inside the body, then this is going to have an impact on our health and well-being. We're going to go through a lot of other sort of practical things that you can do as well that can help to alleviate stress and worries and anxieties.
So I mean, good examples for this is like, obviously sometimes when you I think I had this last week or a few weeks ago, when you're at work, and you get stressed at work. It's sometimes when you maybe too many people want something from you, or you have a lot of deadlines. You get a bit of overwhelmed with what you've been given and the tasks you've been supposed to do. So I mean, there is a few things you can do. So I think in the first instance, you probably can do to distance yourself from whatever you're doing first, to kind of get back and calm down before you actually then, because everything kind of comes together and on you, you want to probably step back first and then see, kind of calm down first and see what can I actually do to cope. Like a really simple thing you can do is as well, once you notice, oh, I'm getting a bit overwhelmed here and so on, is kind of step back and probably do a really easy breathing exercise. Just kind of, just go kind of breathe in for 3 seconds, hold it for 3 seconds, breathe out for 3 seconds, then hold it again and repeat. And do this until you basically, that calms your heart rate down, that calms your mind down, and then you can kind of refocus on the things how you want to then deal with what's been given to you.
These exercises that Janine's talking about are really well-researched exercises. They use them a lot in stressful situations, sort of, in the military as well. They use them for calming, for their comrades to be able to calm down in very difficult situations. So they're using these breathing techniques to help them in these various different sectors, different areas. So some of the breathing techniques that you might be very familiar with is like a meditation, where you're focusing on your breathing and you're using your breath to be able to calm the systems down in the body.
Yeah.
But there's and this allows you also to give you some self-reflection. So if you're calming your body down, you're calming your mind down, then you're able to think more clearly, your body can balance, and then all of the chemical imbalances that are happening in your body, they're more easily able to get back into balance. And therefore, if you're sleeping better and you're making better judgments, then you can, this is going to improve your life overall in general. So.
And sometimes also what you once you calm down, what you then, if you have too many things going on at the same time, or you have a lot of worries and a lot of different worries, just pick one thing, you want to focus on, and then just do it step by step. So it's easier to, because if you have so many things you can't juggle, just take one thing, focus on that one thing, and then once you've done with this one, go to the next.
I think it's about sort of managing if you're feeling overwhelmed by lots of tasks. I know here at the temple we have quite a lot of tasks. The small team here, we've got a lot of stuff to do and get on with. So sometimes I think if you have your tasks and you split them up and you manage your time, that allows you to effectively use your time and reduces your stress. It's just simple things as well, like planning ahead and not leaving things to the last minute, because that can increase your anxiety and make you feel really stressed out. So, and then also something else which I find eases stress is if you know identifying actually what the triggers are. Is it situations? Is it certain people? Is it environments? Is it food? Sometimes you get stressed with eating in certain situations. So it's kind of identifying what those triggers are, and then finding solutions to them and finding ways in which you can resolve them. And sometimes some good idea is maybe you can, number one, you can write them down, so you can get the thoughts that are going round and round in your head, or the anxieties that you're feeling, to actually process them. You can physically write them down, and
then you see
really
patterns,
helpful.
isn't it? Sometimes you see patterns. Once you write them, you probably only need to do this a week or two or so, and then you probably already start seeing patterns on certain situations where it always comes up again and again.
And almost it's like an acknowledgement. Sometimes when before I see patients in the clinic, I will get them to write out all of their past history and all of their complaints themselves. They have to do it themselves, physically write it out, because the process of doing that allows them to self-realise, actually, I didn't realise that I had a sleep problem, or I didn't realise that I was really stressed or worried, or I have this going on, that going on, and actually you just become a lot more self-aware of what's going on, and then you're able to address those those things that are happening in your life.
Yeah. I think you can also ask someone that knows you really well.
Yeah,
if you ask someone that knows you really, like a friend, family member, or so, just because sometimes they see you from a different perspective, and they actually can give you a bit of a tip or help or advice to say, like, look, every time you do this and this and this, you get really, really stressed, or every time you're with these and these people, you get really, really stressed. So what can you do about it, you know?
And also talking to somebody, not holding it all in is another thing. If you finding when you're writing it down it's not helping, maybe you actually need to physically talk to someone, whether it's a relative or a friend, or talking to your practitioner, or a teacher, or somebody who you feel safe with to express those concerns with. And just the mere fact of being able to speak out is kind of a healing process in itself.
I think that also the people the person you talk to doesn't necessarily need to say something or give you advice or something. I think they just need to listen. So you can say whatever you need to say, and sometimes that process triggers, like, you think about your own solutions already. So you kind of find out, already find out once you've said it, oh, okay, this is this or that. And sometimes it's, some people need to write it down, some people need to say it.
This is and also I think if you do have stressful thoughts coming up in your mind, or intrusive thoughts, finding a way to once you've established that those thoughts are arising and you're feeling that anxiety in yourself, finding ways to reform them is really good. So changing, first is noticing and recognizing, and then the second is to try and to find positive ways to change it. So if for example, if you're thinking quite negatively all the time, then, and you're conscious of that, then trying to
try to rephrase it,
rephrase things, or give yourself positive affirmations, finding things you appreciate in your life, things that you are grateful for in your life, and just trying to see things from a more positive perspective. And it's understandable in life, if you're a human being, you're going to come up against challenges and fears and worries and anxieties, and that's really normal. If you're a human being, you go through that, that's normal. And so, but the way in which we see it and deal with it can be different. It can be a more positive, you can look at it from a more positive perspective.
A really good thing is sometimes what I do as well. If you find yourself someone you look up to or you admire, you know, someone you know that can handle situations well and so on, you can sometimes, if you find yourself in a stressful situation or so, you could kind of go back and go like, oh, what would so and so do? You know, it's a bit like it's a bit like a mental guidance. You know, if you have someone, maybe you have a friend that's like positive and that can deal with things, and you could just go like, oh, what would so and so do? And then think about if this is a good thing that you could do to help yourself as well.
There's lots of other things that you can do as well, because when you feel like that, you feel like you're out of control. You feel like you're out of control of your thoughts and your feelings, and there's things that you can do to help you feel like you're more in control. And simple things that you can do, for example, you know, taking time to eat better, or getting outside and doing some exercise, you know, or these meditation practices, being more active. These are simple changes that you can make to your lifestyle that make a huge difference.
I think change of scenery is quite helpful as well. So obviously if you find yourself in a really stressful or worrying situation, as Martine said, you just go outside. You can go for a walk, you can go for a run, you can take your bike out there, go for a bicycle ride or swim or whatever. And then also, as soon as you're out there, just also because you are in a different environment, you probably also notice different things. If you start kind of getting out of your head and into what's around you, kind of notice, I don't know, what people are around you, or what plants or houses or whatever is around you, and you which kind of triggers a bit of a switch in perspective in your mind, which is good.
So these things you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to sit there, you know, and isolate yourself, or don't talk to anybody about what you're feeling. I think you can use these really simple techniques to help you to get out there and reform your thoughts and take control of your life. And they're just sort of simple exercises that.
And sometimes
really
it's also putting things into perspective and maybe take the seriousness out of certain worries, you know, and maybe have a joke or a laugh about it. I mean, it's not to say that the whole world is a joke, but sometimes a bit of a laugh and a joke helps also to relax yourself and to kind of release the tension in your body that you probably have when you're worried. And
I think there's also different types of worry and different types of stresses, and the way people experience it is actually different for everybody. So some people might find that they go to lethargy, they're very tired all the time, they might be very down, they might be very low. Other people might be extremely highly strung and they can't relax. Other people will maybe just constantly worrying all the time, or thinking about fearful situations. So I think for each person it's going to be different, and the way that they feel stress and the way they feel anxiety and all these different emotions are going to be different, and there are different methods for everybody. So if that method doesn't work for you, then you can try something else.
One, different
if
one.
you, for example, if you feel really tense and really, really uptight and you find it difficult to relax, you know, maybe having a massage, you know, or having a very hot bath, or something that really calms your nerves down, or really calms the body down. Things like meditation will help to calm down your adrenals, your kidneys, if you're running on adrenaline all the time. So, and these are the kind of the imbalances. If you're somebody who's extremely lethargic and you don't have any energy, then getting out and trying to move your body and exercise is going to be really beneficial for you.
Or listen to your favourite songs or something.
Exactly, uplifting. Another thing is like creating sort of this endorphins in your body, things that make you feel happy.
Yes.
Sometimes the things that you think make you feel happy don't they? So you have to have quite
Don't eat 10 chocolate bars.
This chocolate feels so good. Of course you have to have a balance in everything you're doing,
You can have one chocolate bar.
You have you're allowed a bar, and that's it. This is my one slab for today. Of course, like a little bit of chocolate is good. It makes you feel good, makes you feel happy. It's got a very warming quality to it, and so these things help to lift your spirit, and I suppose that's what's really important as well, is lifting your spirit, finding things that make you feel happy. And also, sometimes I feel if you have something to focus on, that really helps as well. You know, if your mind is constantly thinking and spiraling into negative thoughts all the time, sometimes you need to distract your mind. So things like maybe just focusing on a really good nourishing meal, or focusing on something that you find enjoyable, or something that you find fun or creative, or gives you inspiration. So this can then move your thoughts into a different area and kind of generate more positivity.
I think this is a lot of stuff we already talked about, isn't it? So, and I'm sure there's something. Hopefully, there's something
for you,
in this for you, and you maybe can take something away or not. I don't know.
Remember, if you are feeling stress, anxiety, and you don't know what to do, remember there are people out there that you can talk to. There are practitioners, there are teachers, they're your friends, and there are people who are experienced in these areas who you can turn to, who can give you some really good advice.
Yeah, so, exactly. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, to reach out and ask. Yeah.
Okay.
So we hope you've enjoyed this chat, and next week we're going to have a few more other topics. As I say, you guys can write in and tell us what you thought about it, and if there's any topics that you would like us to discuss further, or we have a lot of information out on YouTube, on Facebook, all the social media stuff, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
website.
So we're all on Facebook, so just
reach out.
Yeah, reach out and give us a message and let us know how you're getting on, and take care and see you next time.
And enjoy your Saturday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.